Right. I am live, I believe. This is Tim Cerantoni, Neon One, and we're gonna let people kind of roll in here and get things going. Okay. Oh, already got a donation. That's cool. Let's see what's going on. If you're talking, I cannot hear you. Just a heads up. Great. Okay. You are good now. Okay. Thank you, Jordan. My camera's a little wonky. Welcome, Stream On. Thank you. Thank you. So yeah, this is the Giving Tuesday live stream for Neon One. Don't know what's going on with my camera here. I'm going to try to fix that in terms of a different camera. Always fun to be here in the beginning for this type of stuff, right, folks? So all right, cool. Jordan, please continue to gut check me if this is working. So yeah, so hello. Oh, I can hear you. You are live. Hello, Josh. Now you're back. Your picture just went away. Oh, this is going to be fun. I got two chats that I got to pay attention to. So logistically, just want to kind of tell us what's going on here. I'm Tim Cerantoni, Neon One. Really excited for tonight's live stream. I, in theory, will be joined by a few guests, Chris Strub and Jared Sheehan. And we're doing some pretty cool stuff tonight. Got a little schedule for you. I got some beer that I'm going to be having. I hope you're going to have a beer. Pop into the chat. I know Josh is doing something. We have a chat in the kind of stage area here that I could see. So if you want to type in just to confirm that you're in kind of the little thing, if you've actually logged into the platform. Josh, I know you're checking things out on YouTube, so thank you for doing that. But yeah, you know, this is kind of fun to see how things are going. Hey, Jordan, for your purposes, are you logged into the platform? Because I know that Josh is checking things out on YouTube, but are you in the platform? And I'm looking at Slack, by the way. We're going to get through the technical stuff. Kind of get things going. Yes, you are in. Awesome. Can you do me a favor, Jordan, and type into the chat, not in Slack, our company Slack. This helps that we have like people who work for Neon One going, but just so I can see that you're in the chat. Oh, it's going to be on stage. I bet it's going to be on stage, not on event. I have a feeling. Okay. Well, that should be loading. Anyway, okay, so what are we going to be doing tonight? So over the course of the next hour, 2 hours or so, what I wanted to do was just kind of really unpack where we are with Giving Tuesday, kind of what's happening with Giving Tuesday, both 2020 and where should you be watching if you're not on YouTube? Josh, don't worry, I'm going to hook you up. So we're going to be doing a bunch of different stuff. SVP here. And boom. Okay. So yeah, we're going to be doing a few different things tonight, kind of over the course of our time together. First, you know, kind of kicking things off. My name's Tim Cerantoni. I'm Director of Strategic Partnerships at Neon One, if you don't know me. You know, I'm one of the folks who helps kind of corral all the Giving Tuesday stuff that happens at our company. We do a bunch of different things at Neon One, giving days, peer-to-peer fundraising, CRM, and so it's been interesting to kind of see how all of that comes together in one spot, right? So you got a lot of different sized organizations, a lot of different transactions that are happening, and you know, you have to also look at that from the larger aspect of the industry itself, what's happening. And so what's interesting is that we're obviously going through a really tough time with the pandemic. That's a lot of work for people to kind of mentally get through this, to coordinate interesting and exciting content for donors to engage with. A lot of people are trying to figure out like what type of events or experiences are people going to enjoy, and so let me see if anybody's actually and we have a poll, by the way, if you want to click on the polls in terms of how do you think Giving Tuesday's gone for you. I'd like to hear about that. So that's kind of one of the experiences we're trying to do is have this be interactive. Trying to we also have a Q&A, so if you want to ask me questions, I could see that. So I'll be clicking over to that. And you can also actually even connect with each other in the platform too, which is pretty cool. So there's a people tab off to the side. It's my left, which looks like the right when I do that. But what's interesting is that you can kind of connect. So if you see somebody who's doing, a really good mission or similar work to you, go ahead and reach out, like make a connection. That's kind of the cool thing about the platform that you're using. Little kind of annoyed that the chat's not working, at least in the platform. But I'm checking out YouTube. I can see the YouTube chat. So Josh, if you want to continue to talk to me there, that's perfectly fine. So kind of one of the things that I also want to do is unpack some of the data that we're seeing and some awesome campaigns that we're actually seeing. So that's one that I'm really excited to do, is the fact that we've been seeing a lot of really interesting outreach, a lot of interesting messaging. But one of the other things that I want to do is also address a lot of the negatives that people bring up when it comes to Giving Tuesday today. I had the pleasure of talking to Woodrow Rosenbaum earlier, and he really kind of he's the chief data person over there, and it was interesting to kind of hear his questions and like what are people responding to, what are people engaging around, and some of the main stuff that I've seen are when organizations don't forget their mission. They actually go in and talk about what their mission is, and kind of all the different things that make people excited about the value that they bring their community and the value that they bring their organization. So I'm actually going to show a few examples in probably once I get a feel for this new platform. I'm going to start to kind of share my screen and go through a few organizations that I personally either donated to or people pointed me to and said, look, this is some really amazing work that people are doing on Giving Tuesday. And these are organizations of all sizes. Some of them you've heard of, some of them you've never heard of, unless you live in that community, and that's cool. I think that's the cool thing about Giving Tuesday itself. We also should be joined at some point by two guests. That's my hope. Or you can hear me talk for a bit, and that's cool too. But Chris Strub is actually finishing up the Giving Tuesdays live stream that they're doing, which is a lot bigger than this one, which is fine. But it's kind of fun because he is just kind of a live stream expert, and so it's going to be interesting to get his perspective on things. Let's see, got another 4 responses from clients interested. Oh, geez. Oh, sorry. That is a work thing. So Not answering that. Okay. So yeah, we're going to hopefully hear from Chris. Jared Sheehan hopefully will be joining us as well. Hey, Jared's actually coming in right now, so let's go ahead and let him in. Speak of the angel here. Hey.
What's up?
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. I've actually been on for the last 10 minutes. I just couldn't figure out how to get backstage.
I gave you the link.
You did, and I totally didn't read the email, so that's my fault.
That's fine. Well, okay, so welcome, Jared. Jared, why don't you introduce yourself to the crowd, who I'm still getting a hang of how much of a crowd we actually have at this point, but
Millions.
I know.
Enormous. Hi, Jared Sheehan. I am the CEO and co-founder of Powered By. We work with nonprofit organizations and build really fun and cool tech platforms with them. A lot of mobile stuff and a lot of AI stuff. Tim and I recently just published the state of artificial intelligence in the nonprofit sector for the second time. So a lot of good insights there. And we can add in a link to that in the chat so you guys can take a gander and look at it. Yeah. And then Tim and I just like to nerd out about, data related to charity.
Yeah.
So,
and we got some fun stuff that we can unpack, Jared. Speaking of data, I want to thank you, by the way, for the donation that I just noticed came in on the live stream, during the live stream. So, folks, you actually should be seeing in the stage, and you were there before watching it, right? Did you see the little overlay there?
Yes, I did.
And was there donations popping up when people were doing it?
Yeah.
It works. It works. I can't actually see it. So that's really cool. So I want to kind of pause a little bit for a moment there. If you folks are seeing and watching the live stream in the RSVP platform, the YouTube stream does not have this. This is kind of a special thing that we're testing out during the live stream. So that is connected to the Megan Lally Memorial Fund, which is the charity that I am raising money for GivingTuesday for. And that is in honor of my sister-in-law who passed away in 2011 from breast cancer. So we're just doing a little thing. If you want to donate, please do. Really appreciate any support that you might be able to give toward that cause. And it's going to give you a way to find the actual donation page for that, and without leaving the full stream itself. You can do it on your phone because like a little mobile thing, but every dollar goes directly to funding breast cancer research. And so really appreciate any support that you can give for that. But really also want to thank tonight's donors that came in. Kieran Johnson, Mark Kowalczyk, my cousin, Jerry Cerantoni, my uncle. Got a lot of family love, so welcome family members who might be watching this. Thank you for attending a work event, basically. So I have a lot of people that I'm trying to entertain right now, Jared. Mark Wetzel, good friend. Thomas Cerantoni, my other uncle. Jared, thank you for your donation. Aaron Schwartz, over there in Binghamton, actually, thank you. And Aaron, thank you as well. Aaron is my boss, so really appreciate that. So Jared, GivingTuesday, kind of some of the stuff that I want to do tonight is we're going to talk about some of the data that we saw today. You can have people come in. I mean, this is kind of, we're being chill.
I think they're waving goodbye.
Come on, Tim.
Oh, hey.
Hey.
How you doing, bud? Does he live with you now?
Yeah, don't let him or his family leave ever. Just
there you go.
They dropped off these cookies. Sorry, keep going.
So I want to talk about some of the data that we saw today. Later on, I'd love to unpack the data that we saw from GivingTuesday now, actually, that you helped us analyze, because no one's actually seen that in full yet. We talked a little bit about it here and there, but this would be the formal debut of the research that you folks did on that. And this is being recorded, so it's not going to just die with the live stream. And then what I'd love to also do is spotlight some of the campaigns that people have enjoyed. And I'm sorry, if you are using the stage chat, I actually unfortunately cannot see that. I don't know, Jared, can you see that if you click on it?
I can, yeah, I see the stage chat.
Hey, could you let me know if somebody says something or is having a conversation that I should respond to? Can you do that for me?
Sure, yeah.
Awesome. There is a poll as well. Somebody has voted. Thank you for that. 100% of people think that their Giving Tuesday has gone great. 2 votes. So 2 votes. So it's not statistically significant yet, but so far so good, which is great. And so I want to hear about what you thought happened today, for kind of what you were seeing. I know you're not like staring at it like I am.
Right. I think most of my interaction, I would say, is with nonprofit organizations that I work with, and particularly a lot of social media things, right? I saw a lot of really beautiful graphics and posts about Giving Tuesday from a bunch of different organizations. I posted a few out there myself. I think the thing that's really fascinating is you're putting it in line with this Black Friday and this Cyber Monday and Small Business Saturday and all these things in a row, and Giving Tuesday is the last of those items. And it's always so impressive to me that people are so generous after they have just spent all the money on all their Christmas shopping over the time period. And it just keeps growing year over year. Every year you think it's going to, at some point slow down, but it's just really been pretty amazing how much it's grown over the last 5 years. It's been pretty wild.
Yeah, Whole Whale, another Neon One partner, is projecting that they're going to see over 605 million this year.
Wow.
For Giving Tuesday. I think it was about an 18% growth or something like that. I can actually have it right here. I told George I would. 18. Good. I remembered it right. And if that happens, that's impressive. I actually had the pleasure of being on a Giving Tuesday community call. And this is, I think, the stuff that people don't really understand about Giving Tuesday. And one of the things I want to do later in a segment, especially if Chris Strub joins us, he said be a little bit later, so that's fine, there's a lot of complaining, and I want to talk about the criticisms that people leverage against Giving Tuesday to kind of help, because we have some folks who they might not know my family, they might not be like Brian Mockery, who just donated. Thank you very much, Mock. They might not be connected to me through the Neon One Partner Network. They might be actual clients of ours. And so I want to give you some actionable intelligence and to kind of thank you for me fumbling through a live stream and give you some value. And I think some of the biggest things that we can do is address those criticisms that people have and use the chat, use the Q&A. I'll pay attention to those through Jared's help. And I want to address any concerns you have also going into end of year in terms of the strategy and things of that. So I'd be definitely interested to see how we can help anybody with that. And just in general, how people are managing. I would love to hear from you. I would love to make sure that you're all doing okay too. But today was a good day. Today was a very good day so far. And the preliminary data that we've seen that I'll kind of shift into, showing a few of my favorite examples of organizations, is encouraging. It's encouraging in terms of the amount of donations, the size of the donation in general. How are you like playing me back? I heard a little bit of a feedback.
No, I was trying to see if there were any comments coming over the YouTube channel. So sorry. What?
Oh, I got the comments on the YouTube. That seems to be coming through fine. It's just in here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just that. I'm gonna do something hellish in terms of I'm gonna play the live stream in the fundraising page too. See myself talking, which is terrifying. But it's kind of fun to see that like live. So the data is very encouraging. What we saw today, some of the early campaigns that were doing very well were religious organizations, actually, earlier in the day. And then what happened is when I got another data dump from Neon CRM clients later on, things started actually shifting a little bit more toward like food banks, some kind of children's focused organizations. So there's a really good spread in terms of the types of nonprofits, and I actually think that's going to come into play a lot when we look at the and kind of unpack the Giving Tuesday Now data, because I think that was pretty similar, actually.
Yeah, absolutely.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to share my screen and see how that goes. And I want to show a few of the campaigns that I liked in terms of Giving Tuesday today. Let's see who's here with us too. Cool. Okay, we got some fun folks. So yeah, continue to use the poll. I am going to try to create another poll, but a little bit more fun poll. Jared, what are you drinking? You drinking anything yet?
No, actually, I'm not right now. I was just finishing off a really healthy Chick-fil-A dinner, so I was having a lemon meringue shake.
Cool.
That's where I am right now. So
awesome.
at some point, I'll turn my camera off and disappear and reappear with a beverage in hand.
Just let me know, especially if it's just us, that not going to really know. So okay, let's go ahead and I'm going to share my screen. Let me see. That should pop up or not.
Do you want me to try mine?
Yeah, why don't you try yours?
To make sure I don't have anything bad up first. All right, let's try this guy. All right. There you go. There's my screen.
Oh, okay. Guess what? We're going to talk about, I'm in Chrome too. So like, maybe I got too much junk going on. I mean, that's probably, I got like so many things. And thank you, Josh, by the way. Josh, thank you very much for your donation. Much appreciated to the Megan Lally Memorial Fund. By the way, just before we dive into your data, yeah, we're gonna move segments around, folks. This is gonna be all over the place tonight. I just actually want to say real quick that the top donor during the stream tonight is going to get a special package from Great Flats Brewing here in Schenectady. This is a crowler.
Ooh.
This is a crowler made. So if you donated already and you want to donate again, I'm happy to have you do that. But this beer was actually made with hops that my sister-in-law grew back in in the early 2000s. She was brewing beer with her husband, and we took a little bit of the rhizome and we moved it to our place here in upstate New York, and then I started growing it. And then Great Flats actually does a community beer. And
cool.
So we put, I mean, her hops did not make up the entire batch, by the way. So let's make that clear. But she's part of this community beer. Like that's how I view it.
She basically created Cascade hops.
Yeah. And so really beautiful. And they were awesome this year. So I'm going to have some of this in her honor a little bit later on. Again, if you're just joining us, Megan Lally was my sister-in-law. She passed away in 2011. If you see the overlay that's going on, that's the charity that we're raising money for tonight. And the top donor, in terms of the stream, I'm gonna hook up with a nice beer package. And actually, I made a home brew myself that was all Megan hops and other hops. So this is a wet hop harvest ale that I'll also hook you folks up with too. But thank you, Josh, Brian, Aaron, Jared, Uncle Tommy, Uncle Jerry, Mark, lots of Marks, Kieran, and then Derek and Abby, Janice, other donors previously as well. So, Jared, what are we looking at here? Because this is Giving Tuesday Now data that you helped unpack. And I'm actually going to so you have it open. This might be killing my bandwidth. That might be the issue here. So I'm going to get rid of the Tableau thing.
Yeah, Tableau definitely can do that to you. Yeah, so the confusing thing is right now is Giving Tuesday, but we're going to chat about Giving Tuesday Now, which actually happened in May, right? So, again, I'm mostly impressed by how effective GivingTuesday now was. And, this is from, and to remind me of the exact number of records, but, this is from a whole bunch of different records, specifically between the time periods of when the first COVID case was identified in the US and the end of May. And so what we were looking at initially was we were trying to figure out, well, is there any sort of correlation between how giving happened and where COVID outbreaks started spreading in the initial phases of the analysis? And we spent a lot of time trying to figure it out, and the answer was not really. There wasn't a huge trend there. And then the other thing we tried to figure out is, like, were there depressions related to COVID cases in specific areas? Like, I would have assumed that things like arts and culture would have seen a decrease in potential gifts and some of those sort of things. And honestly, what you see is that in the initial phases, you did see some areas have some negative differences and declines, right? Saw some declines in civil rights, saw some declines in crime and those sort of things. But you saw a lot of improvements. Food and agriculture got a ton of lift here, almost 200% over that time period, year over year analysis. You saw some increase from healthcare, no surprise there. Human services, no surprise there. International, medical rescue, mental health, and then just public society in general, all of those. And then the other thing that you see is there were just a ton of principal gifts, so very large gifts year over year, which I think in the early stages of COVID, when everything was very unclear, you saw a lot of organizations, companies, foundations, those sort of things step up and make a lot of principal gifts just to make sure that a lot of nonprofit organizations were able to survive. So if you look over here on the top left, you'll see, what we call, normal givers, slightly larger givers. So you're talking about like under $1,000, $1,000 to $10,000 was kind of our other normal giver. And then into the major gifts, we were talking, 10 to, 50 or 100,000. And the principal gifts are the really large ones, right? The $500,000 to, 10 million or whatever gift amount. And so you saw year over year just a massive spike in terms of the number of principal gifts across a number of different areas. And, so much so that the data actually kind of looked a little bit skewed because you had those gifts. But the other really cool thing is, so this is all the data, right, over a 3-month time period. If we only look at GivingTuesday data, and this might take a little second to upload, you see overall, you see a trend across every different category of nonprofit that they had increases in gifts, right? So basically, if we wouldn't have had the GivingTuesday data, then, or I should say, if we would have had the GivingTuesday now in general, you would have probably seen a depression of number of gifts that came in over that time period. But with it, you actually saw a lot of nonprofits rebound really, really nicely in that sort of sense. And a lot of the principal gifts came specifically around that GivingTuesday now time period, which is, really cool. And then one of the other things that we had in here was looking at, is looking at it by region. So we saw.
I love the geographic data. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, and we were looking at trying to figure it out by, we just did 3 digits of zip code and trying to figure out, what sort of information is coming in there, what sort of states had a lot. California was a ton of gifts that were coming in. You can also look at it from average gift size as well, where California skewed because it had so many different major gifts that came into it. So you'll see the Pacific was up, 500% on that GivingTuesday year over year, and all that sort of information. And the other kind of cool thing related to this is you can look at an individual state and how they were doing, or an overall region. So if we want to say, hey, how did the South do, right? Then we can show that they didn't have as many of the principal gifts, but they had a bunch of the different major gifts and kind of the cool things that were happening there. So our takeaway from all this information was basically that overall there were a lot of organizations that were hurt, but particularly it happened by different category of nonprofit, which if you're in any of those nonprofits, I'm sure you'd agree with that. But you saw a lot of really large gifts come in, and then I would say that GivingTuesday was a huge win for a lot of nonprofits across the U.S. Now, the data we don't have here is everything after the end of May. And Tim, I know you've been doing the analysis ever since then. So we actually thought this time we would have said, hey, if you exclude the all the data except for the Giving Tuesday data, for the most part, nonprofits would have been down. And so our thesis was, oh well, nonprofits essentially, or not our thesis, I should say, one of our outcomes was that nonprofits essentially probably were down had there not been the Giving Tuesday Now sort of analysis, Giving Day. But Tim, you were saying that starting in June, giving actually picked back up, right?
Average growth from June until October. Just now, I got the chart because I knew we'd be talking about this, so I got the data up on the side here. 19% average growth compared to 2019. So
wow.
we've been steadily increasing, and that's offline gifts in terms of if we were going to aggregate all the different channels. I would actually make an argument that it's best that I focus on offline for two reasons. One, that's where the majority of the money we're seeing is, and two, credit card percentages are kind of, compared to last year, they're holding steady. A little bit of a decrease, a little bit of an increase. But ACH is hilariously high. Like ACH has been off the charts this year compared to last year. So,
wow.
So that's kind of skewing it. So I like to focus in on offline donations for not only those reasons, but the traditional fundraisers who actually, Jared, an interesting point I want to bring up on that was on Twitter right before, because I have all, nothing else to focus on. I decided to tweet it at a few prominent fundraising and communications consultants who I love talking with, but they love to shit on, and pardon my French, but it's 8:30 here at night, and I have a lot of kids. They love to shit on Giving Tuesday. It's like the punching bag. It's the easy punching bag that they have, and they don't want to believe the data, in my opinion. They just do not want. They refuse because they see that their data set anecdotally, after how many ever years that they've been working with clients and potentially working with clients and then put on email lists that they don't want to be on, that they see 200 emails in their inbox that they don't like, and they're like, Giving Tuesday sucks. That's their data set. Like, it can maybe let's go really high, and they get 1,000 emails today, and that's what they say. Well, 1,000 organizations emailed me, and I hate all of them. Right?
Yeah.
The data is very clear that campaigns initiated on Giving Tuesday compared to campaigns not initiated on Giving Tuesday have a higher success rate. Those organizations raise more money. Last year, 13% of new recurring donations were initiated in terms of all of December. So not throughout the whole year, but in December, which typically has like a third of the gifts that a nonprofit receives, 13% of the new recurring donations initiated that month happened on Giving Tuesday. Woodrow from Giving Tuesday loves that stat. Every time I bring that up, he's like, I just cannot believe that. And I'm like, yeah, I couldn't either, but but that's the data. And so somebody brought up, and I'd be interested in your take, somebody said, yeah, well, I'd argue that if somebody initiated their campaign beginning in November, that it would be just as successful if you skipped over Giving Tuesday.
Yeah, and that's a really interesting question. And I wouldn't go so far to say that I have a definitive answer.
I don't either, because I haven't looked at the data for that. But
yeah, I think what you have to basically show is, you'd have to basically normalize against pre-Giving Tuesday and Giving Tuesday and see how much data happens over that same time, or how much giving happens over that same time window, and if you are shrinking it. Now, what I will say is, looking at the data that we're showing here for Giving Tuesday Now, unprecedented crisis, right? Massive issues, economic issues across the U.S., and the first time that we've tried to do something like Giving Tuesday Now during that time period, And the results really speak for themselves in that situation, right? Where you could look at any number of crises. Now, admittedly, this one happens once every 100 years, but it's one of those things where how much giving happened after a 9/11 compared to something like this? Where did where have things happened? And that's kind of the analysis I would do. But it definitely seems that concentrating that into a single day keeps people's focus, and therefore, I believe probably drives value from that perspective, because it's easier to give to a few nonprofits on a single day rather than having to remember that you're going to give gifts to all these different organizations over a couple month time period or whatever that may be. That's just my theory.
And the other thing that I think is discounted in situations like this is, and this is where, and thank you for sharing your stuff. This is actually where I think that a lot of some of the either the traditional fundraisers or the fundraisers who've concentrated on not necessarily the digital side as heavily, discount the power of Giving Tuesday. And one thing, by the way, thank you, Karen, and thank you, Ben, for your donations so far. Our highest donation has been $50. So, which is great, but I have a bunch of $50 donations, by the way, and I only have one package that I can give. So if somebody wants to win the Great Flats package, if maybe you want to Price is Right it and do a $51 donation, then you're in the lead, by the way. But I am so grateful. And look, folks, if we come to it and everybody's got that $50, it's all good. And I'm going to do something nice for everybody who's donated, by the way, no matter what. So thank you for any size donation. There's a lot of power in the social element that gets downplayed when I see analysis. And what's fascinating about the criticisms I see leveraged against Giving Tuesday is it's typically around like, well, people are doing bad appeals and they're doing bad communication, and but it's always focused on the money. In those criticisms, it's focused on the money, and they never talk about the digital metrics. They never talk about the social engagement. They never talk about the potential groundwork that is being laid for later enticement and engagement. And you can go to one of the biggest Giving Tuesday skeptics around before he was turned around by Cat Murphy-Toms, and that's Stephen Shattuck at Bloomerang, who hated the day. He would rip on the day every single time. And then last year, he kind of saw the light in a way. And I respect Steve greatly. And what's really fun is it's not that he's just not only come around, but he's given some really good feedback on the Bloomerang blog, for instance, where they're talking about look, make it into a thank you day. If you do not want to make this into an appeal, cool. And the Giving Tuesday people will tell you that like explicitly. It's not Appeal Tuesday, it's Giving Tuesday. And giving comes in a wide variety of ways. Like near 40% of first-time engagements on Giving Tuesday have nothing to do with transactions. And so if we are solely going to rip on people for the transaction element, then you got to bring the data on the social metrics in terms of comparisons. And Jared, to your point, there is no better moment. And I always see the same thing, and then I'm going to stop my rant. You always see the same thing where it's like, well, you could be engaging people 364 days a year. And it's like, yeah, but are you going to keep up that energy 364 days a year? That's just impossible. You can't.
Yeah.
I love The Power of Moments, that book. That's like one of my favorite books. And it really kind of zeroes in on the fact that like, if you're standing in line, it's a terrible example now in the pandemic, but if you're at Disney World, right? You're not going to remember that like things sucked because you've been in line for a while. You're going to remember either the smile on your kid's face when they put on the Mickey hat for the first time, or for my kids, some Frozen thing. And that's what you're going to remember 3 months from now. And the same thing is with Giving Tuesday. Almost all the campaigns that hopefully I get my screen share going. I have to hopefully I don't kill the feed by hitting refresh or something. But like the best ones were evocative in their visuals, like you talked about, and they were telling a good story. And even one of the best ones that I'm going to talk about, even if I can't share it right now, is National Ovarian Cancer Coalition. On their page that they put out, they have over 1,400 social shares on it. It's like a big counter in the corner. That's huge. It's huge metrics, and every single donation. Let me see if I can share my screen. Yes, I can.
There you go.
Okay, we're gonna get out of that. Oh, look at this! Whoa, you see that?
Meta.
Yeah, that's kind of fun that it does that. I saw that do that. So let's look at Knock. So look at this, and this is some practical stuff. And for all my friends who have nothing to do with nonprofits, welcome to my live stream, because this is what I really geek out about. We can definitely talk about it. Make sure that the live stream catches up. Okay, I'm just going to wait for the YouTube side. It's getting there. Yeah, there we go. So, look at this. Like everything is this is one of your toughest fights. Like, this is in memory of a very special person. Like, there's a lot of engagement here. There's a lot of storytelling here, right? Like, these are people sharing things about themselves, and then in turn that they're sharing their story. They're sharing this. And so that's one of the ones that our team highlighted for me to point out today, that Knock is just doing a really great job on the very simple storytelling element. Another good one is Sierra Club. And so they did, they're kicking off a campaign, and it's specifically, all that good stuff. And I know you love the outdoors. So Sierra Club's a great organization, but 13,000, and then they're like, and they're saying, look, you can get something. They're giving a little bit of value there. It doesn't, there's something that is. Oh, Aaron. Oh, I got by the way, Jared, I got my first double donation. So somebody can vault into the lead, by the way. So Aaron is currently in the lead in terms of the donations. Boy, we are $250 away from my $1,000 goal, by the way, folks. So if you are listening, would appreciate that. We are raising money for the Megan Lally Memorial Fund, which is breast cancer research. So now I'm going to show you one of my personal favorites of the day, Sesame Workshop. Sesame Workshop, and 2 is better than 1. Double, it's a matching campaign.
Perfect,
right? And the thing is that you got all the great, look at this, and I click this and it automatically covers the processing fees. We see very high percentages when you default the checkbox, by the way, for this thing. So default your check boxes, folks, when it comes to that. Very, very straightforward, form, but really, I mean, exactly who you're donating to here. Another cool one on an individual level, and then I want to shift over to one of our giving days that had things today, Huntington Arts. So they did a really cool thing where they're actually trying to bring together multiple arts councils in Long Island. And so they're using this to kind of tell a story. And then they are linking out to the membership pages for all the different arts councils. They have a video that tells that story. And then they are asking for their own donation at the very end. If you're like, okay, I want to sign up as a member for my specific community, great. Or I can go ahead and donate.
Tim, I do have to mention, though, having just donated to the Megan Lawley Fund, it did not default add in the processing fee.
Yeah, I forgot to do that. I set that page up. I forgot to do that. Thanks. See, folks, it's always learning. It's always learning. And this is why I like that you can call me out. And so this is also one of our giving days that are happening now. And this is in Baton Rouge, 225 Gives. And so this is helping near 200 organizations at one time. And they've raised $2.5 million so far. And what's fascinating is that this is their first giving day ever.
Wow.
This is the first time that they launched it, helps the Baton Rouge community. And so they got, the big sponsors here. What I love about this type of stuff is that, and they actually have a lot of fundraising pages, peer-to-peer pages that got launched. I was told that they've had as many peer-to-peer pages launched as organizations. Yeah, see 200. And they have 198 organizations. So they actually have more peer-to-peer fundraising. So it looks like Center for Planning Excellence actually launched a bunch of different folks on the platform to really get things going. But look, this is like a lot of different people. Look at that, 52%, right? And what's cool about a giving day is that I can actually kind of treat it as a shopping cart and donate to multiple nonprofits. So I can go ahead and hey, let me look for an organization, and I want to do, something like in environment. That's the only one. Wow. Oh, I guess it's 198. That makes sense. So, thanks. Okay, I got, thank you, Joe. Oh, Joe Mealy. Joe Mealy's a old friend of mine who grew up behind me. That I'm reading off donations. You should be seeing the donations if you're actually in our live stream item. Not on the YouTube, though. And I'm checking chat. Nobody's chatting with me there. Or have we had any chats, by the way?
Yeah, we've been chatting. No questions. Mostly Chris is just asking, what's a giving day?
What's a giving day? Chris, join the stream.
Yeah, Chris, have you figured out that you have to click a separate link that has a backstage?
I gave it to him in Twitter. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing so I can make sure.
He said, I have no idea how to join.
Let's go to Twitter. Go to your direct messages, Chris, and click the thing I gave you.
Yes. Don't feel bad, Chris. I also couldn't figure it out for 10 minutes until I actually read the email that Tim sent us.
Well, and the CEO of the platform is watching tonight. So,
so we're doing great.
We're doing great. We got okay, and I want to thank some other donors. And again, we are raising money for the Megan Lally Memorial Fund. We are so close to our goal of $1,000. The top donor, who so far is Aaron Schwartz, will win a beer package from me and Great Flats, by the way. And so Megan Lally Memorial Fund raises money for breast cancer research. And she was my sister-in-law. I miss her a lot. And it's so great to see people like Joe Mealy, Chris Stra, who I'm assuming is Chris Strum, Erica. Oh, Erica, thank you, by the way. Much appreciated. Good to see you. Plattsburgh love. Rachel from work, Haley from work, thank you very much. All of you. And it's really cool to see it happen live, by the way. This is working out well. So, Chris, what are you doing? Where are you? I'm in. No, you're not. Not as a presenter. Let me see if I can find you and
do you want me to just send him the link? I can just send it directly to him.
Yeah, send him directly.
All right.
In the thing.
I'll give it to him in the thing,
Yeah. Oh, right. He wants to join. All right.
There you go.
Hey. I didn't deny him.
All right. We do have a comment coming in. Joseph, and if I pronounce this incorrectly, I apologize. Melee.
Yep.
He said he heard there was a beer part to the shindig, and he's loving the energy. So There you go.
So I got some beer. Chris Chubb should be bringing beer. So I do want to talk about beer. And actually, if we hit our goal, Chris, where are you?
He went yellow and then he disappeared. I think it was the Flash.
Well, actually, yellow would be Captain Zoom, who's the bad guy.
Reverse Flash?
Reverse Flash, yeah. Try it again, Chris. We'll let you in.
Yes, and Kieran, Tim is drinking a harpoon. I'm gonna pause my video for 1 second. So I also
go get a beer. All right. We're gonna kill some time, folks, while Jared comes back. So let me get rid of this. Chris, we're gonna get you in here. Don't worry. Jordan, thank you, Jordan, for your donation. So yeah, if we hit goal tonight, actually, I plan on breaking out a little bit of this, which is the Sam Adams Utopia, and I can talk about that a little bit. But this is a very fancy beer. Look at this. Actually has like things that you can open.
I'm back. Now we can talk about beer.
We can talk about beer. I want to get Chris in here. What is that?
A Princess Yum Yum, repping my local Denver Beer Co. This is a raspberry Kolsch, the manliest of beers.
Look, beer doesn't have a gender. Beer doesn't have a gender.
True.
None of that.
Beer. It's anyone who's ever had a
Yeah, they're great beer. Chris, what do you?
Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hi, cheers. I cannot get the camera input to change. I'm trying. It's just not letting me adjust on the drop-down menu. I swear I'm not trolling you guys. I'm literally trying.
Scroll a little bit lower or something. That's what I had to do.
I'm going to keep trying it. Shout out to the CEO here. I'm figuring it out. I promise. I'll be right back.
Okay. All good. Oh man. Thanks folks for enjoying this. So I will say I want to actually talk about something interesting, which is the process that's going to happen tomorrow morning. Then we'll talk about beer in a bit. So Giving Tuesday coordinates dozens of tech vendors at one time. And they need to get data in a specific template in order to make a really big announcement. Like they are gearing up. I was on the community call earlier. The head of Giving Tuesday, Asha, she was basically like, we're not going to talk about numbers outside of this call. Don't talk about it because we have a formal process that we're going to get everything together. And so they have a secure upload, and I have to corral 3 different products that do different things, but they're all donations. And we're trying to also then understand that, like, this is a cancer organization versus, this is Sesame Workshop versus Sierra Club, and we're not going to classify them as the same thing. Now, Giving Tuesday never knows who the clients are. They don't know any client data, anything like that. They don't know any donor data or anything like that. We're giving them aggregates. We're giving them a big fat number. But what gets wonky that our team gets kind of nervous about is the offline donations.
Understandably, right? I mean, now you're trying to track another set of data coming in and information that way. So what's the I think you mentioned this, but what's the time period at which you have to provide the data? How much leeway time do you have?
I have to get everything to them by 10 in the morning Eastern time.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Yeah. So
it's only a few million transactions.
A few million transactions from, several different giving days. Cheers, folks. Tell us in the chat what you're having tonight. I'd like to hear. It's 9 o'clock, almost 9 o'clock Eastern time. 8 o'clock Central Time. Jared, tell me in the chat what people are saying because I can't still see it.
Jordan Brown is having coffee.
Jordan is having coffee. Jesus, Jordan.
He's a champ.
Jordan
Aaron is having a Balvenie Doublewood 12-year, which, I've never had that beer before, but it sounds a little bit like whiskey.
That's a good one.
It is a good one. I've really been into it was a joke, Aaron. It's a scotch. I've really been into Japanese whiskeys recently. The Suntory and the Yamasakis have been so good. Sorry, Tim. All right.
It's just I don't know. Something about the phrase, I'm really into Japanese whiskeys just sounds a little
They're super good. All right.
I'm messing with you. Okay. So
we also have a Carbach Summer Pills from Houston, Texas by Joseph Millet, Six Harbor Blood Orange by Kieran Johnson, and a Periscope Pale Ale from Surly Brewing Company with Rachel Klepper. Yeah, there you go. Those are some of our beers of choice.
Nice. We got a nice spread. So this is a community IPA that I just opened. And so this is made with Megan's hops as well as God knows what from around the capital region in upstate New York. Chris Drubb wants to join. Okay, let's see if
round two fight.
Mr. Banana comes in again. Come on. We can do it. I know we can do it.
Ooh,
I think our viewing numbers are going up.
And Haley Novich is having a Pinot Noir. So, Tim, at what point are we allowed to play Dragon Force as part of this?
Oh, the video game thing?
Oh no, I just literally meant the song. Through the Fire and Flames.
Oh God, I'm not sure how audio from the computer comes through. Actually,
no, that's true.
And then what happens is when we ended. So here's a fun fact: when we ended Generosity Exchange, I ended it on Lizzo. Played Lizzo, and then YouTube promptly slapped a cease and desist on the live stream. And hey,
hello.
There you go.
Well, that's not my problem now. I can see you though. I can see you.
I don't know what's good. Guys, I swear I was trying to get in for the last 10 minutes. I was going to wait to pour.
Cheers.
Chris, can you hear us?
Yes.
Okay.
I can, although it's not through my mic, but it is what it is. Happy Giving Tuesday.
Happy
Nice
Giving Tuesday. Happy Giving Tuesday. Thanks for joining us, Chris. I'd love to hear what you've been up to today because, folks, if you don't know Chris Drubb, another fellow Neon One partner, he's our live stream go-to person. Everything live stream, I turn to him and go, okay, how should I at least be thinking about this? Actually, we got the overlay in, by the way, Chris. If you saw,
I saw it on Chrome. I don't see it now that I'm in another browser.
No, it's not that. It's because you're in the back end, so that's only like a thing for the crowd.
Oh, now I'm in the back end. I gotcha. Okay, yeah, it looked great. I was compelled to go donate, so I made my donation. Although I don't think I'm in the running to win anything. But that's
are you
not
Chris?
what it's. Did I not spell my name correct? I've only had one glass.
Wrong, Chris. You spelled your name wrong.
Is that one glass or one bottle? Come on, Chris.
That's because I was going to call Team Rallybound tomorrow and dispute the transaction. That's what I was going to try and get away with. I don't know who Chris Stra is.
Yeah, great. I can't wait. So, folks, so Chris, Chris is our go-to for all things live stream. He does a lot of great work for Giving Days, including St. Louis Gives. One of our giving days that we run. So Chris, what have you been doing today? Because actually I want to hear what's been going on.
So I was very, very humbled to actually work with the Global Giving Tuesday team today to produce their 2 1-hour live streams. One this morning at 9 a.m. Eastern, and then one I say that they were 1 hour live streams. They were scheduled to be 1 hour. They did not end at the 1 hour mark, which is why I'm a little bit late getting in here. Turns out our host, Mario Armstrong, likes to talk, especially when Asha joins him on camera. So, man, we planned out 2 just absolutely marvelous streams. This morning, we really showed a lot of different examples about how people could give. And then throughout the day, the Giving Tuesday team was remixing a lot of great content and playing those videos. And we were able to bring in remote guests from Kenya and Malaysia and just like people from all around the US. It was really incredible to be able to bring all of those people together in that live stream environment. The Giving Tuesday team just did a marvelous job of putting all this together. And it was very, very humbling to be asked to help press some buttons today. And, we had, Tim, I think we had over 41,000 people watch the morning stream on Periscope alone. So I don't have too many other stats yet because I just literally got out of there. I know you guys were just talking about compiling stats for tomorrow. Well, I'll be doing the social media live stream stats compilations to figure out how that all worked out. But there was an overwhelmingly positive response. I'm skipping the Giving Tuesday happy hour to be here with you, Tim. They were like, hey, we're doing a Zoom. And I was like, I got a date to the dance already. So
Hey,
I gotta go drink a little with Timbo here. So
and I want to bring up something earlier because I'm now in a bit of an active discussion with somebody on Twitter. I'm not, as my wife says, don't get into fights on Twitter. So I'm not. But everything that you just said, everything that you just talked about, we still have a lot of fundraising consultants who are absolutely convinced that the only thing happening on Giving Tuesday is people sending crappy emails and just asking for money. That's like they're just convinced that that's the holiday itself. And the data just doesn't bear that out at all.
Yeah, Tim, there's no one that I know. And by the way, I had this 10 minutes ago when I was trying to join. I was like chomping at the bit to jump in
Let's
to answer this question. I know you were like, where's Chris? I'm like, I'm trying. I was going to call you on the phone.
I got it right here.
We had an opportunity to showcase today, especially with some of the Giving Tuesday Spark leaders, which if you don't know the Spark, they're the young people around the US that when I'm thinking just about the interviews that we were doing with these kids, one of whom, Michael, was featured on Good Morning America this morning for his incredible work in Baltimore. And he was surprised with a $50,000 donation, and Michelle Obama sent him a tweet. And I mean, I think simply hearing from that next generation alone is something that's really, truly inspiring about how Giving Tuesday and the movement that it represents has changed their lives and their approach on the world. And if all we do today is try and inspire one kid to leave this earth better than he or she found it, that's an enormous success. The other thing I was going to say, Tim, no one loves data more than Tim. We had Woodrow on in both morning and our evening segments. And I think Woodrow might've been in your event in the chat, which I guess Tim can't see, but I could.
Yep.
Woodrow is brilliant. He was showing us some of the more advanced metrics and everything. And of course we know the fundraising totals, but any representative of the Giving Tuesday team that you talk to will tell you that Giving Tuesday is not about fundraising.
No.
And it's not just about the first Tuesday after Thanksgiving. It's about a year-round generosity movement, a really decentralized approach to spreading kindness and just being good to people. Yeah, I should have grabbed my book too. I've got it, New Power. And of course, Henry says it a lot better, more eloquently than I do. But that's what Giving Tuesday is about being good to people. It's about spreading kindness and generosity, and a positive externality that fortunately for Tim is a little bit easier to measure is those donations.
Yeah.
And the donations are wonderful, but I think that the kindness and the generosity that people have shown to one another all around the world. I mean, we had a woman on this morning, Becky, from a tiny town in Kansas. I checked the population. It's under 1,100. And we had tens of thousands of people watching and feeling inspired by her message of what she's doing in the middle of Kansas. You know, so our ability to use social media and specifically use video to amplify these stories really is, and again, roll in as many cliches as you want about 2020, blah, 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 blah. But it is incredibly important right now that we see and hear from these people around the world that are pushing as hard as they can to make their communities better. And I've got the coolest job in the world, Tim, maybe the second coolest job behind yours, but to be able to shine a light on these people, and especially the kids, as I mentioned, you can't describe it, man. You can't, this is what life to me is about, you know? And we talked about this in your, we talked about this a little bit in your webinar, the big party webinar over the summer.
Yep.
For the Giving Day clients too. Where I was joking in the comments, like, what's a Giving Day? Well, look, Giving Tuesday really has sprouted, and you were talking about a specific Giving Day right before I jumped in, but it has sprouted hundreds and hundreds of individual Giving Days around the world as well. So when you say Giving Tuesday, that's a jumping off point. Like, it's not a thing. You can't hold Giving Tuesday in your hand. It's really like a seed that has sprouted and has covered the world. And we see it. We really take the time to breathe it in and to sip it in, Tim, on Giving Tuesday itself. But Kathleen or Asha or Jamie or anybody you speak to from Giving Tuesday will tell you that they want Giving Tuesday to be the same thing as Throwback Thursday or Man Crush Monday or anything like that, where it just becomes synonymous with the day of the week. And when you can do that, that's impressive.
And they'll also say that a few things, that one, that a few years ago, they feel like that they have a small staff. That's like what a lot of people don't understand, is that the actual facilitating body of Giving Tuesday is not some massive thing. It's like a few paid people and then a ton of volunteers. Like, they have over 200 community days that are being facilitated by Celeste, formerly of Amplify Austin, really successful Giving Day in Texas. But basically, it's a lot of volunteers, and they have people from all over the world. And it was really powerful to hear stories from Finland, Hong Kong, Russia. Like, Russia changed, like, whatever browser that they have in Russia, that's like the non-Google Google, not Pravda, but like, they changed their little kind of icon for Giving Tuesday, in Russia. And the thing that the Giving Tuesday folks will say is, one, they lost the narrative a few years ago, where it kind of, they'll say, like, look, we couldn't stop people just thinking that this was like Gimme Tuesday, basically. And that's where I think I think they've done an amazing job bringing it back. I think they're returning to owning the narrative, but they'll readily admit, a few years ago, like, they didn't have the capacity to actually own it. And now that they do, I mean, you got the Twitter hashtag and it's got the emoji next to it. I know for a fact that they didn't have to pay the money for that type of thing, because they're they got Obama on the line, basically being able to call that type of favor in. Really cool stuff. But another thing, Chris, about Giving Days themselves, North State Giving Tuesday, one of the days that's running right now, Jordan Brown, our friend Jordan here at Neon One, pointed out, she's like, we're tracking volunteer hours pledged.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
We have.
Yep.
Yes. Is there on the ticker for North State, which, let me just get the physical location, over in Redding, California. Okay. Redding, California, North State. 940,000 on the big board so far. Really great. for 187,000 organizations, or 108, yeah, just 187 or 100. Oh my goodness, 187 organizations. That's it. 187 organizations, near $1 million, Chris, and 14,576 volunteer hours pledged. That's amazing.
You know, the moment this is a game that everyone should play the next time you get a chance to talk to Tim. The moment someone says that something is immeasurable, Tim Cerantoni will challenge you and say, you know what? I'm going to measure that. I'm going to count it. I'm going to get it in a spreadsheet. I'm going to get Woodrow on the line. And we're going to figure it out.
It's,
so
the reality is that there's just so many great people that I'm not, look, I don't think I'm anything special when it comes to this stuff. The reality is that I can
Nope.
I can talk to you. I could talk to Jared. I could talk to people like Denise Barato. I talked to her earlier. I talked to Julia Campbell. You know, I could talk to people like the folks over at Charity Dynamics. Hell, I can talk to so-called competitors. I saw that Noah from Virtuous signed up earlier. Gabe did this book. Like, I can't wait to dive into this thing. And so you got to check yourself and be able to just say, I don't know. Let me find out. And when it comes to the data,
I meant that of course, Tim, I meant that in a pejorative sense. I was half kidding.
Yeah.
But the bigger idea is that to everyone officially affiliated with Giving Tuesday, which, by the way, I was texting someone from the Giving Tuesday team who says that she would like to join in. So I am trying to get her the link.
Oh,
which I sent.
You can.
And hopefully,
is Kat trying to join?
I sent. I wasn't going to name the person in case
I
she
have
couldn't make
the
it,
YouTube
but
chat open. She's like, there's 15 of us. Like,
oh, well, hello, YouTube.
I multitask. You can get her the link. Now,
we're on YouTube too?
Yeah, this is streaming over to YouTube at the same time.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. All right.
Yeah, this is public. I'm getting,
well,
this is why I'm getting donation.
Way to go, Lend.
Yeah, no, this is cool. This is cool. I just, how's the chat? It's the only thing I'm annoyed at, that I can't see the chat.
Chat's doing
well. I also see a big, Jared, I don't know. Do you see this too? I see a big black empty box that I think is Tim's screen that he was trying to show. So I'm kind of squeezed in the corner here.
That's still there?
Yeah, you gotta.
Oh no, that's just kind of that's just how it's organized.
I think once they get to 3 people, it turns into a square. So once we get a 4th person, it'll fill in that corner again.
Well, hopefully we get Kat. Would love to have Kat join us. Actually.
Well, while we're waiting for that to happen, here's a few updates with what everyone is drinking. Haley Novich is drinking a Pinot Noir. Denise Barreto is drinking a Peach Bellini and getting loopy on it. Yeah, girl. What do you got there, Chris?
Gnarly Head. Gnarly Head's good.
Nice. Gnarly Head.
My wife enjoys Dark Horse Merlot.
I like Dark Horse. Actually, Tim, I just made my first, I don't know if you call it homebrew, but homemade wine, and it was a Merlot.
I thought about doing a wine.
That sounds fantastic.
I saw Black Friday, the local homebrew shop, where I made. Actually, we're going to take a break, a slight nonprofit commercial break. This homebrew here, I made with the hops that my sister-in-law grew, and so you can win not only this bottle but a great beer package by being the top donor. Now, all I need to hit my goal is $105, and then I'm going to have a little bit of this Sam Adams Utopia, which basically costs $16 per ounce. Okay.
Don't drop it.
This thing is a beast. So look, we got about 45 minutes left formally in the stream before my wife probably comes in and is like, stop it. I would love to hit.
So this bottle cost almost $16 total. So that's good. This was
So there you go. Your whole bottle
Right behind you.
holds 1 ounce of the Sam Adams Utopia. One of the. This is basically, gosh, what is this? 28%. 28%.
Wow. You only need an ounce of that.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty much.
Oh, God. First time I had that beer was at the Great American Beer Festival in Denver, and it was an S show. It was like.
I love that beer fest. Actually, the only time I've been to that beer fest also, it was also an S show. The stories that came out of that night, oh my gosh.
Oh, wait. Hold it. I have a text. I bet it's from Kat.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to keep going.
I want to be on your live stream. Yeah. Okay. Let me, Kat, let me try to hook you up.
So we've got, while you're doing that, Tim, we got Justin Burns is having an Altered Suds IPA.
Ooh, Justin, tell us more about that.
It's Sunday was Small Brewery Day. I didn't know that. It's a Sun's original in a Dream Kingdom. That's cool.
It was Small Brewery Day on Sunday. That's actually so my wife and I, we have twins.
Oh, also Woodrow wants to join now too.
Oh my God. Okay, Kat, I'm gonna text you. I'm gonna text you.
She texted me back and said, "Yeah, I think I'm here."
Oh, wait, no, she's not registered for the event. Hold on. That's the issue.
Oh.
Woodrow can join.
I thought you had to have a certain, blood alcohol content level to be on the.
Yeah.
You stop. Okay. Hold it. No, we're gonna do some. Look, Denise, who's on here drinking the Bellini, can attest to this. I can multitask a live stream going bad, and this is not going bad. But
here, I will. I'll send this to Woodrow. I'll send this to you.
Yeah, send it to Woodrow. And Kat, I just registered you for the event, so try now. Or now-ish.
But she has to try the link that I sent her.
Yeah, but it's the same link for everybody. Woodrow can use that same link. Chat. Oh, wait.
Which is it? So I got two. Is one of these fellows the CEO?
I can't get the drop-down menu to let me select the camera. I think my chat's just borked.
Is that
here?
Is that Josh or Ben? Is the CEO?
It's Chris.
It's Chris?
Yeah, don't worry. Don't bother the CEO. Don't bother the CEO.
I just got DMs, so the team was very kind in sending me the link here.
Hey, if the team can help Kat get in, Len folks, like that would be awesome. And same with Woodrow. And thank you everybody else who's joining our live stream. That would be lovely.
I will tell you, Tim, this is super smooth. Not just the wine that I'm drinking, the $12 bottle of wine, but the viewership experience here. Like once you get in, you're good.
It's nice.
Like the video quality is perfect.
Yeah.
Like it's nice.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. Full disclosure, we're checking this out because I kind of want to. I'm getting bored of webinars, guys.
Hey Tim, I think Kat's here. Just got a chat that said I'm here backstage, so she might be requesting to get in.
Yeah, but I don't see that.
I see a backstage chat.
I see a backstage chat too, but I'm Woodrow. You have to request to be let in.
Yeah, once you get in there, there's like a green button that says like go to live stream or request to be let in.
Oh, there we go. It should be happening now. I mean, this is not expected, folks. I was like totally set with Chris and Jared, so this is fun. Hopefully, I did say allow.
You said what?
I said I allowed. I hit allow.
All right. Well,
try it again.
Round 2, fight.
I have been so you know how the for live streaming by the way, kind of the stereotype is that it's like video games and stuff like that, you know. So we're doing some live stream fundraising right now, folks. So hopefully we'll get our friends in. I really would love to hit 1,000, by the way. So if you were watching tonight, you know, we are just shy of our goal, by the way. So if any of my family, my mom is watching, Kat, okay, K Murph wants to, there we go.
The question is, what's the largest gift at this point? Because that's what I'm waiting for.
Aaron, so far, I hit allow, so I'm not sure if there's a limit. I don't think there's a limit. Chris, now I can't hear you.
Yeah, Chris, you clicked the mute button.
No.
Yeah, so the question, so Joseph's asking, how much did Aaron give? Because I think we've got some competition coming here.
We got 75 is the highest donation right now. Hey!
Am I in?
Yeah, and I think you kicked Chris out. I don't know where Kat is.
I don't either. But I use that link. I can't see myself, so I'm just assuming that I'm here.
Well, we can see you.
We can see you, and I hear you fine.
So the important thing here. Oh, there I am.
Hey,
what is that?
Mortlock 20. I like this whiskey because it has a nickname. It's called the Beast of Dufftown, and I got that nickname over 200 years ago. It's very special. And
that sounds fantastic. Can you guys hear me?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, we
I
can.
see you, and you say you see Kat as a black screen.
Yeah, if we're playing Hollywood Squares, Kat is in the middle, but she's black, and the four of us fellas are across like the bottom here. I'll text you what I see, Tim.
Yeah, please, because I don't even see that. Kat, can you talk? Are you here?
No, I think I'm Kat.
You think you're Kat?
Yeah.
Okay. Kat, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Woodrow's thing says K Murph.
Yeah, I'm Kat. I don't know.
How'd Woodrow get in? How'd Woodrow get in? That's what I just got. I bet our viewership numbers start to drop significantly right now. So okay, Woodrow, how's it going? Good to talk to you again. By the way,
it's been a fun day.
Did you change your shirt?
No, this is the same shirt I've been wearing all day.
Yeah. How long have you been up?
Oh, it's not too bad. Tomorrow's the nightmare day, right? Today, you know, I've been doing live streams like this. I got up at like 7. It's you know, it's a long day, but it's not terrible.
Yeah, I think you like stole Kat.
Yeah.
But wasn't Woodrow registered to be here? So Woodrow could have just joined as Woodrow?
I didn't have a backstage link. I had an audience link.
Oh.
No, but I sent you my backstage link.
Yeah, but they're all the same.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So yeah,
it's all the same. Kat, I'm gonna send you. Oh, God.
So as Tim takes care of getting that to Kat, Woodrow, hey man, thank you for joining the official Giving Tuesday streams today. You did fantastic. I hope you had fun.
I did
being part of it.
And actually, I got to thank you, Chris, because like you definitely get it. I was listening in before all the technical struggles getting on this live stream, and I was live transcribing the things you were saying for our Giving Tuesday Slack team.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, because the team really appreciates it when you clearly see us, and that's really nice.
Yeah. You guys do marvelous work. And like I said, I don't know when you were listening, but it was really an honor to be part of the quote unquote official Giving Tuesday. But the more fungible, weird part of it is, again, as some of the most knowledgeable data artists in the nonprofit world are here on screen with me, like everyone at Giving Tuesday would agree that it's abstract is Giving Tuesday, right? Like as much as Woodrow can measure, again, that's just tied to the, the Giving Tuesday hashtag and everything. And Tim was talking about counting volunteer hours, but the real, to me at least, the real difference that Giving Tuesday makes is almost immeasurable because it has sprouted so many different arms over the years. And to me, that's what is so interesting about like even a conversation with Asha is like, boy, like she's in charge, but is she like, she's in charge of not being in charge. It's a very weird, it's a weird setup, right? Because her whole goal is to not centralize it and not make it about the Giving Tuesday team. It's supposed to be about the whole world coming together. And she's done just a marvelous job of it,
Yeah, no, it's true. That approach to the leadership really is inspired. It's why it's grown the way it has. And it's why, to Tim's point earlier, it can be really challenging to be able to influence the narrative. Because it's ultimately not our voice. And it's been I think taken 2 years of really intentional work to move it to the place where it is now. And at the same time, Giving Tuesdays met the moment. Like 2012, Giving Tuesday met the moment. And really everything was primed for Giving Tuesday to take off the way it did in 2012. And 2020, you see this kind of real turning point in the narrative and the understanding of what Giving Tuesday is. And a lot of that, I think, has to do with the work that's been done. But the turning point came because 2020 demanded that of people, right? Like this is the zeitgeist. It's about generosity and all of its forms and helping however you can. And we're all givers and receivers, and everyone has something to give. That's the theme of 2020.
Still trying to get Kat in. She's like heckling us from the screen. Yeah, it's been frustrating to, like, I get it last year in some ways, Woodrow, like it's not that I didn't get Giving Tuesday, but experiencing the day live, like physically in, New York City and seeing everything that happened. And the thing is that what your team did so beautifully this year on Giving Tuesday now, and then this year, is that maybe what happened, and this is just me waxing philosophically, maybe what happened is that, like, previously the narrative, there was just so much like head down structure that you had to get in place for all these community campaigns and things like that, getting it proliferated to people, you think you were doing it, but maybe you weren't. Yet we were forced to do it this year.
Right.
You had to do it this year.
Yeah.
And I think that came through. And here's an interesting anecdotal thing, or as my chief of product strategy likes to say, anecdotal evidence, Colin. Anecdotal evidence is nice, but it's the least useful for me. So let's keep that. But anecdotally, the one thing that a lot of people said, I'm getting less emails. I'm getting less emails. That's what a bunch of people told me. Yet the emails that I got were much more effective, much more focused, much more engaged. And it's still frustrating to go on frickin' Twitter and have some fundraisers who just they're set in how they want to approach it. But I've seen a bunch of people just kind of like reevaluate. And I think we're getting there. I think we're doing the work that we need to do that. And I think this year's going to really show that.
Well, and we have these moments. We have these moments where we have a trajectory. People are moving along the sector. The industry moves along that trajectory, and then you have moments that really push change. And that's 2020 has forced a lot of best practice, and that's going to have some positive legacy.
Sorry. Speaking of which, so we hit goal.
I was gonna say, there's a lot of people who are sending chat messages saying, "You got some alcohol to drink, Tim."
We hit goal, and Aaron, I want to thank Aaron, who's by and far the clear winner tonight. Please keep donating, folks. Maybe we'll set up a beer dinner, like a virtual beer dinner for anybody else who donates for the rest of the night, including previous donors. We'll do that. That's going to be my secondary stretch goal. But yeah, we hit goal, and folks, like, I don't want to take us too far off, but like, this is the point of what Giving Tuesday represents. Like, Woodrow, we're raising money for my sister-in-law's charity tonight. She passed away in 2011 from breast cancer, and we're using the cool little live stream fundraising tools that my company built, and they let me, like, I basically was like, you need to, like, let me use it, just like give it to me. And this is, like, fun to watch. I'm able to see it live. We got the YouTube thing going on. Hell, I actually almost, like, was this close to doing Twitch so I can use the chat there, like, live in the actual thing. And then I was like, that's going to be a nightmare. I don't want to do that. And like, I came in, like, at $250 tonight. And I know it's not a lot in the grand scheme of things, but, like, me hitting $1,000 after, like, saying, oh, I'm going to do a virtual, like, walk. And, like, I'm not. This is where I am, like, all the time, or I'm in bed, or I'm, like, playing with, like, I'm not going outside.
Or watching Frozen 2.
Or watching Frozen. Oh, my God. Or The Greatest Showman. That's the new one that's actually, like, really taken over. So I'm not, like, walking outside. It's kind of fun. If you actually scroll down on my page, folks, you'll see the amount of activity that I've done. Not much over the initiation of the campaign, but tonight I hit my goal. So thank you, everyone, for donating. Continue to donate. But that's what this is about. You know, I don't know everybody who's actually donated here, or some of the people that donated, like, I haven't seen in years. Joe Mealy, who's, like, talking to Kat, who still cannot get into the room properly. And Kat, I think this might be a lost cause, so I'm kind of sorry, but, like, we'll do another one. Keep trying though.
Woodrow stole her spot.
I think. Wait, I don't know how you somehow
tell her to join as Woodrow.
It's an upgrade.
So, but it's like, it's a white man.
She's heckling us. She's heckling us in the chat.
I think Kat's been awake for about 72 hours. So.
Greatest Showman is amazing. It is amazing.
She's all right. She's doing good.
Throw that rabbit. Cat. Oh my God. Cat's, like, destroyed the chat now that I can see it. So,
well, half of those cats are me. Only one of those is the real cat.
Oh, there you go.
We need that Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man meme.
Oh, that's a good one. So,
I can't see the chat either. I'm not sure why.
Yeah. I'll talk to the Len folks. We'll get it worked out. I like the platform, though. I do. The experience, because our conference, I mean, Woodrow, you can attest to this. It was kind of a disaster in terms of getting into stuff, and then, like, the virtual conference that we had.
I wouldn't describe it as a disaster, but it was. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a big year for new tech.
Yeah,
to get all this stuff right. I agree. I think this platform has promise. It's clearly has some bugs to work out, but
well, they're paying attention. So this has been fun, and we're not done yet.
I think you got some Sam Adams to drink there.
Yes, actually, Joe Mealy, who I haven't. I mean, we've talked on and off and things like that, but
I should plug again. Marblock Honey, the Beast of Dufftown. Highly recommend.
So, yeah, it's obviously been an interesting year, and I would have preferred to. Oh God, I think that's enough. I would have preferred to, like, be chilling. So Woodrow, actually, here's an interesting question. If pandemic didn't happen, where would we be right now? Back in New York City, or?
Yeah, good. Yeah, probably would have done GT Central in New York again. Yeah. Yeah.
Next year.
Okay. So yeah, it's. When do you think we're going to get events back?
We should go to Central Kansas and go hang out with Becky. That would be. We should spin a wheel, Tim.
Said no one ever.
People from Central Kansas probably did.
Yeah, come on.
Well, come on.
We'll put Woodrow. What do you think of this? We'll put all of the Giving Tuesday locations on a wheel and we'll spin it, and we'll go do Giving Tuesday 2020.
So this is how we decide, obviously, where we're going to have. One of the most fun things was always, where is the global summit going to be?
Yeah.
And that's been super fun at amazing locations. And one of the of all of the travel, I probably miss that particular event the most.
So you're going to do Russian roulette version of choosing the location now?
Well, it's pretty challenging to pick a place, right? 75 global leaders, and everybody wants to host the global team, right? It's not easy to decide. It's also complicated because getting people from 75 countries in the same place, and visas and time zones and travel time and all that is, and you don't want to just, you could just do it in Amsterdam every year, which would obviously be the easiest, but
I'm fine with Chicago, Kat, by the way, but
love Chicago.
Love Chicago, obviously. I lived there for 10 years. I met my wife there, had my first kid there. I love it.
We could just come to
yeah, let's do it in Schenectady.
Said no one ever. So Chicago is the Toronto of America, I think. That's why it's so great.
Right. And now let's remind everyone.
I love everything about Chicago except the pizza.
Woodrow is in Toronto.
I am in Toronto, and that was a compliment, saying that Chicago was the Toronto of America.
I don't think Chicago's that clean.
No, of course not. Of course not. But it's that cool.
Yeah, there you go.
But I love it, and I love Evanston. I don't know if Denise is still here, but Evanston's a great place as well. Though actually, we talked about how she wants to get the hell out, so maybe that doesn't apply. Trying to think of another good place. Yeah, that's tough. It reminds me of this story, and this is just kind of getting a little random. My friend Alan, who I grew up with, he actually worked for wargaming.net for a while. And they really love World War II stuff. I went to their offices in Austin, Texas, and they had a huge table made from a wooden part of a World War II ship or something like that. But they had so much money at some point. And this is just a mobile developer, a mobile game developer. I'm actually going through this book, One Up, right now in the video game industry. It's fascinating stuff. And they had so much money at some point that they flew literally everyone in the company from around the world to Belarus, and then they Offspring played. They brought in the Offspring randomly. It's Alan was thrilled. He, I was born in 82. He was born around then. That's cool for us. But the logistics. So to think about that many countries for Giving Tuesday, and you don't have probably mafia backed money like wargaming.net,
yeah,
Yeah.
It's a challenge. I have to say, Kate Sheridan, who manages our global network, is just so skilled at managing logistics and all of the people and the scheduling. It's she's an artist.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And where is she?
Sorry, Chris. What did you? Kate is based in Hong Kong now.
Where is Kate?
Oh, she was the one on the Hong Kong call. Okay.
Hong Kong. Yeah, I didn't know that when we brought Kate on the live stream. I figured Kate was just in Baltimore or wherever. And then Kelsey was like, no, it's
Yeah.
it's 11 p.m. where Kate is. And I was
Yeah,
like,
she's from Rhode Island.
what?
Lived in
Okay.
New York, and yeah, she's been in Hong Kong for a few years now, and it's great actually for us to be distributed like that. It's a bit of a challenge for her because it's a lot of very late night and very early morning meetings for her.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, she did great. And Tim mentioned Celeste did awesome. I mean, I really, I mean, if you guys like when Tim wraps this up in 20 minutes after he chugs the rest of that bottle there, I would really encourage you to go back and check out the live streams that we did. They were hosted by Mario Armstrong, who's a Today Show
did great.
contributor. He has his own Facebook live show that was filmed in Times Square. I thought he did a fantastic job. And those streams were worth rewatching, especially because Woodrow's on near the beginning. So at least
there's much more inspiring things in the middle.
You'll be good.
He was great with the GT Spark kids.
And Tim actually
was awesome.
Did you? And Tim appeared in the.
I think I was in the middle of bath time. In all honesty, not for me.
So one of the coolest things that I thought we did, Woodrow, was we asked, this was Kat Murphy, who is still trying to join the live stream, but she asked the world to submit videos of why they give. And Alistair, our video editor, and Kelsey and Kathleen just did a remarkable job of remixing a lot of these videos together in the last 72 hours.
Is that And Kat did
Tim made the cut.
Hassle
somehow.
me
I'm
into it.
Quite sure how.
And I was outside, and I had it was just a nice day out here, and I needed the kids to get the hell out. We actually were like under a 2-week quarantine. It was it's kind of rough. I'm gonna be honest. Leading up to American Thanksgiving, they're fine. Yes, they do not have COVID.
And they're good, right?
They were throwing
cleared,
up
right?
during this period, and then it took a week to get the test. A week to get the test results. Now, Chris, who of us have had a COVID test? Raise your hand.
I have.
Chris, I know you have like 20.
I've had a few.
Actually.
I've had 3.
I got one yesterday.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I've gone
the last one I did. The last one I did.
Tim, I went.
They actually gave us results in 30 minutes.
Kieran Johnson, who I want to call out. Thank you, Kieran. I can see the chat now. So, Kieran, I want to call out Chris. Do you remember the Giving Tuesday campaign the Giving Tuesday Now campaign that I told you about that was inspired from your talk at Dream Big back in April? Huntington, Long Island, all the arts councils. That's Kieran. He's on right now.
Oh, yeah. Well, Huntington is my hometown. I was born in
Kieran
Huntington Hospital. I told Kieran,
yeah.
What's up, man?
So he did. We actually spotlighted his campaign earlier today because they did another great. I checked in with him. I actually got him connected with Celeste in terms of a community campaign. They did another Giving Tuesday one. Kat Murphy wants to join. I'm going. That's okay, so cool. Let's see what happens. I'm hitting the allow button, by the way.
What the actual?
I hear Kat.
I hear Kat. Wait, where's Chris Strub?
He'll come back here in a second,
He'll
I think.
Be back in a second.
It appears every time someone new comes in.
Okay.
Yeah. What's with that? We can't see you,
I
Kat.
can see myself.
Or maybe I just can't.
I see Kat.
I only see the 3 of us. But I am also. Maybe it's because I'm K-Murph.
Oh, there and actually on the in the live stream itself, I see Chris. Okay, and so Karen says all 6. We got all 6 council members and 90 volunteer hours pledged. Oh, hi. Come here. Come on. Yeah. See?
Hey.
There's other people. You can like talk. Look, we hit I hit 1,000. This is Jocelyn.
Hi, Jocelyn. Jocelyn from Chicago.
Jocelyn originally from Chicago. Yes. This is
Hey,
No,
Jocelyn,
well,
originally from Chicago.
no. She's from Massachusetts. She's from I said it.
Oh.
I said it.
That's not the same at all.
No, it's not.
Jocelyn is Tim's much better half.
Yeah. Pat, what's your young friend's name?
The one who ran off with the dog? That's Billy, who is 10.
That's Billy, who is 10.
Billy, who is 10. He has to go walk this dog that we're babysitting who does not speak English.
No dogs speak English.
She's not kidding about that, by the way. She was talking to the dog in English the other day when I was talking to her, and then she was like, "Oh no, oops."
He's not my dog. He's my girlfriend's dog that she only speaks to the dog in Spanish, so the dog only understands Spanish commands. So we thought he was really misbehaved, but it turns out he just only understands siéntate, and that's how you make the dog sit.
Okay. So my daughter made this flower, by the way. So
I love it.
That's cool. So to congratulate us, because I got like, there's a bottle here, there's a bottle there.
Are you going to finish all those tonight, my friend?
No, I brought them out as props. Like I wasn't planning on drinking this, but
how much
are you?
Mark Block.
Which are you getting like paid by them? Like
I haven't.
Which are those free ads?